Let's take these statements one at a time. In the case of the first statement, we're looking at annual earnings, which is the graph on the right. And the term range, of course, refers to the distance between the smallest value and the greatest value in a set of data. So when we look at this chart on the right, we can see that the smallest value is at 2012, and it's a value just under $5 million. Let's call it $4 million. And when we look at 2015, the greatest value, that's at $40 million. Well, from 4 to 40, that's a distance of $36 million. That's a range that exceeds $30 million. So yeah, the first statement is most definitely true. In the case of the second statement, let's look at annual sales first. In 2010, we could see annual sales of about 1,400 million. And in 2015, we see sales just under 2,100 million. That is not an amount double 1,400 million. And that's why the second statement is not true. I think this last statement is probably the trickiest. We're comparing annual earnings to annual sales. And we want to know whether the earnings were more than 1% of the sales. 1%, that's a really tiny amount. So maybe the best way to go about this, let's look for an earning level that's as small as possible. And in 2012, we can see that earnings were a shade under 5 million. Let's call them 4 million. The sales for that year, of course, were about 1,600 million. And 1% of that would be 16 million. And we know this because to get 1% of a number, you simply shift its decimal 2 spaces to the left, and so doing so here gives us the 16. As we can see, however, earnings that year were only 4 million. That's far less than 1%, and that's the reason that the third statement is also not true.